This story started with one man and his quest to find the perfect yacht for him and for his family. Bored by the usual offerings of flybridge motor yachts and monohull sailing yachts, he approached two Spanish yacht designers who really seemed to listen to his requirements, and he started to put pen to paper to actually make his dreams into a reality. They worked together over many months, fine-tuning the design, finding a suitable location and skilled workers to put flesh on the bones of their drawings. And then John Ordovas, whose desire to build the perfect yacht had triggered off this mammoth task, contacted me. I must admit to being quite flattered when I received John's email, because he said that he watches this YouTube channel and he wanted my opinion on the project. So I took a look at the drawings and I thought, that's interesting. Certainly it's something that's never been done before, but there's a big jump between drawing a yacht and building a yacht. But no, John said to me he'd already started building the yacht, and he sent me photographs of the hulls finished, the superstructure in construction, and the cherry on the cake, this promotional teaser video.
Every so often, a new product or design comes along that changes and improves the world. We believe the X1 does precisely that. We are not building a boat with an interesting design. We are interested in changing the way boats are designed. With no compromises, with no respect for the status quo. Revolutionary and exceptional. Hanstaiger XI.
This project is so unique, so ambitious. It represents such an amazing opportunity to witness the birth of a new yacht and to see the challenges associated with turning one man's dream into a reality. So I jumped at the chance to film a series of videos that will document the way that a group of skilled and determined individuals can build not just a yacht, but a brand, the Hanstaiger brand. And my first trip to the shipyard came on a very special day indeed, the day in which the Trimaran's hulls and superstructure emerged from the shed and would be joined together. The hulls themselves are made from a fiberglass composite construction, whilst the superstructure is actually a carbon fiber composite. We'll be seeing in a moment how they made those. But on the day of filming, I was especially curious to see how these two huge components are actually joined. It is a pretty important phase of the construction, since the components need to be lined up absolutely perfectly and bonded in a way that they can never possibly come apart. To accomplish this, an incredibly strong adhesive is used between the hulls and the superstructure. The two components are bolted together, and then afterwards they will actually be laminated together too, so that really the two do become as one. It almost sounds like a marriage, except in this case, divorce will never be an option. I guess that explains the amazing care that the workers are showing to make sure they get a perfect match. To bring us up to speed on the project, I need to explain for a moment what has gone on at Hanstaiger up until now to get us to this point. One of the biggest challenges in building this kind of yacht, and certainly one of the greatest expenses, is manufacturing moulds for the hulls and the superstructure of the vessel. Actually, it's not unusual for a new builder to buy existing moulds from a shipyard that may no longer have use for them and then adapt them for their own use. The Hanstaiger X1 is totally unique though. There's nothing like this on the market right now. Those high bows, the intricate and voluminous superstructure. This all had to be built from the ground up, and today, in the compact and wonderfully organised production facility in Alicante, each mould can be seen neatly stored in the confidence that they will be used again for future models. Actually, just about everything on this yacht is unique and has to be custom built. Let me show you just a few of the remarkable features on board. This entire aft section, which is nearly 33 feet wide, will be entirely enclosed with huge glass panels so that the view of the ocean will be beautiful and uninterrupted. Now, if you want to, you can open this section up because the central glass panel actually lifts into the ceiling of the lounge, whilst the two side panels lower down to create a vast aft platform, effectively morphing the yacht into an open beach club. Meanwhile, in the middle, there's a teak platform which extends out into the sea and can lower down to become swim ladders or lift up to be a diving board if that's what you prefer. Now, that's not something you can just go to Home Depot and order off of the peg. That kind of thing requires design and custom building to a very high level of precision and of quality. And talking of the windows, the Hanstaiger team were very keen to ensure that although the yacht itself is dark in colour, it would nonetheless be very light inside. So each one of these multiple geometrically shaped windows has to be custom made by a specialist glass supplier to the marine industry. Remember that especially the hull windows will take quite a beating from the sea, and so they have to be at least as strong as the hull itself. So not only do these have to be cut to exactly the right dimensions, but they also have to laminate two sheets of 8mm thick smoked glass together perfectly so that they can create a single 16mm thick window that can be bonded to the hull. Let's talk for a moment though about the colour of the yacht, black. Now that's unusual. You don't see too many black trimarans around, and it will look very sleek and very distinctive, I have no doubt. But as you may know, black is a colour that does heat up tremendously. What you may not know is that that colour can cause tremendous problems for the very layup of the hull. You see, most yachts built from composite material have what's called a sandwich layup. So, you have a layer of fiberglass, you have a second layer of fiberglass, and in the middle you have a foam core. Now the problem with the foam core is that under extreme temperatures it starts to expand, and I've seen yachts with dark hulls that suddenly develop a hole in the side of them 1 meter high because the foam has expanded and it has nowhere to go, so it pops through the fiberglass. Now if you have a yacht with a dark hull, I don't want you to panic about this, because if it's going to happen, it usually happens pretty soon after the boat's been launched and is exposed to the sun. However, the solution is very simple. Don't use this core. Find one that's more expensive, like the one that Hanstaiger has used, that won't expand when the temperature gets too hot to handle. That dark colour will also require special consideration to be paid to the air conditioning on board, and I was particularly interested to see what Hanstaiger are using to power that air conditioning, since that is the system that draws more energy from the generators than any other system on board. This footprint in the bilge of the centre hull has been designed to house 24 lithium-ion batteries that will produce sufficient power for the entire hotel load of the yacht. They take about 4 hours to fully charge, and you'll easily be able to spend a night at anchor, and actually much more than just that, running air conditioning and other electrical systems in total silence. You can then recharge them from the generators at a more convenient time, when you're not asleep. After the battery hold, a garage for the tender is located, and this shall have a door that lowers into the ocean so that the tender can be launched directly into the sea and retrieved using a winch installed inside. It's simple, but it's very effective. And have a look at the size of those bows, towering 3 meters high, that will give this 64-foot long yacht the imposing presence of a 64-meter super yacht. Since it is, of course, the bows that take the biggest beating out at sea, and there's a fair amount of surface area for the ocean to take a crack at here, Hanstaiger wanted to make sure that this part of the hull would be especially strong, and so an extra layer of lamination will be applied here, which will include carbon fibre with titanium filaments. Titanium, that's something you'll want to tell your friends about. I must say that John and his team haven't made life particularly easy for themselves. They could have bought the moulds from another shipyard to use for the hulls and for the superstructure. They could have designed the yacht with square windows and round portholes. And let's face it, they could have painted the yacht white just like everybody else does. But what would be the point of that? What would be the point of doing what everybody else does? At that point, he may as well have bought the yacht off of the peg and made do with second best for him and for his family. Instead, he decided to make something with no compromise, a totally bespoke product that included everything he'd ever wanted from his yacht. And along the way, he realized that this is more than just a yacht. This is a viable product to propose to the yacht buying market. Safe in the knowledge there are people who share his values and his dreams of what a 64-foot yacht should offer. Now, nobody's under the illusion that Hanstaiger are going to become the Ford of the yachting industry, popping out hundreds of these every year. The design is so radical, it's divisive. And actually, I'm looking forward to the comments section on this video, because I imagine there will be extreme opinions on both sides of the divide. But those who are on the right side of the divide will love what's going on here in Alicante. They'll love the geometry of the superstructure, the level of engineering in the project, and the quality of the materials. They'll love the fact that there is nothing like this on the market. And I haven't even started to tell you about the layout of the yacht yet, the position of the master stateroom, which is quite brilliant, the helm station that's like a fighter pilot's cockpit. There's a lot to this yacht, and I'm looking forward to reporting back to you as the Hanstaiger team face up to the challenges of building what is a truly remarkable and a totally unique yacht.